You guys, there is so much to get into right now. I cannot hold the excitement. The weddings, Love is Blind has dropped, and we got to get straight to it. My name is Nicole Hernandez, and I have my girl here, Danielle, also known as It's Your Girl D.
Hey, friend.
Danielle, we're all caught up, and we just got to get straight to it.
Yes.
Ali and Anton.
Now, did you think it was going to go the way it did?
Did not think it was going to go the way it did. Okay, like before I started watching the episode, I definitely thought that Ali was gonna say no. But as I started watching the episode, I thought she was gonna say yes. In fact, when Anton's mom came in to see Ali, and Ali said, "It is gonna be a beautiful wedding," I started breaking down crying. I like full blown started breaking down crying. Allie's crying, the mom's crying, but I feel like we should have known better because Allie's mom was like, I don't like that drinking. And she was like, I'm done with this. I'm ready to go home, basically.
Yeah. I felt the same way. I definitely was on the roller coaster of she's going to say no. Oh, she might say yes. Oh no, she's going to say no. Um, I felt that at the end she was going to say no. But she did catch me off guard when she did have that moment with his mom, and the way that she was speaking, because of course you have to try to read between the lines when they have these individual interviews, right, while they're getting ready and stuff like that. So I'm trying to pay attention to how she's saying things, what she's saying, the interaction between her mom, her sisters that all showed up. They were all
When the
happy
sister
for
showed
her.
up, when the sister showed up that said she wasn't coming.
Yeah, and I mean that was the one that was the Debbie Downer
Yeah.
for sure, because she was like, no, and I mean, what you already know how I feel, and this, that, and the third. And I just thought, damn, you, of all the sisters, she's the second prettiest one, right? Below.
Oh,
And I'm like, for you to be, I don't know, she gave me mini hater vibes. And I'm like, okay, is this coming from a place of a true older sister, right? With her concerns about this marriage, not really knowing the guy herself. And I just thought, I don't know, she's giving hater vibes,
yeah.
but Allie seems happy from the footage. She seemed to be genuinely excited. She did have a lot of emotions, which I thought, okay, maybe they talked it out. Maybe they, got to a place where they really worked through the little kinks that they allowed us to see.
Right.
And
Because wait, because on that note, Anton said, well, I can stop drinking for like 2 weeks. Like in a previous episode, he said he was like, I'm willing to work on it or I'm willing to stop, but I think that was just too much to commit to.
yeah, and of course, I think she realized you can't commit to potential. And I
Right.
think that was the biggest concern. And so when they went up there, he was like, yeah, like I do, so excited, ready to get, this life started with this bombshell.
Yeah.
And just said no. And I was like shocked, but not shocked. And then just hearing her reasoning, the fact that she made the comment of, um, realizing their lifestyles were just too different.
Too
Um,
different. And she
yeah,
even added on about his with her friends. I thought with her friends that little Kiki was not nice. And she
no.
was like, well, he makes good money. Like,
No,
not
she said,
great.
yeah, she said really good money. And then she shortened it to, well, he makes good money.
Right.
But you can definitely tell, she definitely wants to live a certain way and be taken care of a certain way. And I thought maybe Anton had the potential of it because he does come from a traditional Russian background.
Mm-hmm.
And like her friend even said, like he's, if he's traditionally Russian, like his role is to be the provider, the protector, all of this. And I think Anton truly was looking more for like an equal partner because when he was getting ready and said, yeah, like she doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, but I'm looking past that.
Yeah.
Um, and he was really willing to work it out and figure it out somehow. But Ali was, I think, the more realistic one and said like no, because basically the person that I met in the pods was not the person that I got to experience, and I thought that was a bold statement, but
Very
so
bold.
the situation.
No, when she said that, she definitely hit the nail on the hammer like that. That was exactly what it was, but I didn't think Ali was going to have the balls to say that right there and then. Like, I didn't think I didn't put the two and two together that she had fully realized that the person she fell in love with in the pods and the person in real life were just two separate people. So I definitely gave her major kudos for that. And if you guys haven't realized it by now, Ali and Anton, they got to the wedding. Anton said yes. Ali said no. And like Danielle said, she just basically said the person I fell in love with in the pods is not the same person that I got to know in real life, which was a real like, you know? And I thought Anton did a really good job of just holding it together because I feel like he did a really good job of holding it together, but it was also a little scary because it was like, was behind the cameras? Like, who was that other person? Like we don't really know.
Yeah, because she did mention again, like just, reiterating his lifestyle of you know, this highly drinking party lifestyle. So and obviously with her, you can tell like she really doesn't drink at all. I really don't think even if she's a social drinker at that, she might have like a drink maybe a week. Just
Right.
based like the interaction and that breakfast morning they had together, and she's like, well, maybe I'll just have like one mimosa, and then like really made it more about the orange juice than the champagne. But I think, yeah, whatever was happening behind closed doors, I can kind of see him being a little bit more of, hey, let's go out, let's have a few drinks, let's, every, I guess, maybe occasion, or every time like they hung out or did something small, no matter what they were doing, I'm sure he always had a drink in his hand every single time. And for her, again, because she's in the medical field, she is still currently going to school. It is a lot for her to take on, that she's like, I don't have time or the capability of partying and doing med school at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't see that being her personality in general. So at the end, I think she did make the best choice for herself. Um, and hopefully they are able to find their people in the near future.
Yeah, good luck to them. I can't wait to see what happens at the reunion. And although they weren't a relationship match, they did look very beautiful together, but that's not what counts.
Yeah. And did you catch his mom? And I don't know who that girl was standing next to the mom, but they were talking a little smack towards the end.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, she like called her some name, and the mom like made some like snarky comment after, like, yeah, I don't know what that was. And I mean, it was quick, but I was like, who are you?
Well, I do know that the mom definitely gave her son an out. Like, whether she says yes, you have your whole life. If she says no, then, it's okay. So I did
Yeah.
like that his mom did kind of approach it being open to both options. But and you know what? We were really hoping last episode that the moms like really got along and stuff. But when they met each other, it was like, girl, I don't want your son to marry my daughter, and your daughter is beautiful and everything, but I don't know.
She's not the housewife my son needs.
Yeah, the energy was not getting along at all.
Yeah, no, the energy definitely spoke for itself when they all came together, but
Okay, next up, Edmund and KB. I just
can I just say, did he really have to walk down the aisle with that damn pick in his head?
Oh my goodness, I the pick needs to be like retired, buried. Like and you know what? I went on his Instagram to figure out if he's still wearing the pick, and I'm happy to share with you guys that he doesn't have the pick in his more current Instagram videos
Okay,
because I think he might have got the hint that you got to let the pick go. Walking down the aisle with the pick was crazy.
crazy. I was sitting there on the couch and I'm thinking, I thought I saw when he was getting ready, and I'm like, I swear to God, he better not walk down with this damn pick. And with the pick, and I'm like, oh my God, he walked out with a pick. Like, what is that? What is that? Edmund, for once, be serious in your life.
Right.
Like,
This was your
you are,
moment.
this was your moment, your big boy moment. And you really walked down this aisle with the pick, the beaded bracelet that looks like wear at a music festival.
Yeah,
And yeah, I just figured it is what it is. This is his personality. We'll take it as it comes. And I just pray that KB says no and she runs the other way, because this is not it.
not it. And I just want to say, Edmund's fifth grade teacher, so nice, so kind, but even she was like, Edmund, even the teachers you drove crazy came to support you. We love you. Even the people you drive crazy still show up and support you. And I
Yeah.
thought to myself, you've been driving people crazy for a long time, Edmund.
Yeah. No, he has an underlying underdiagnosed
Yeah.
case of ADD, ADHD, because from the moment you stepped into that woman's classroom, she said you were up singing and dancing. I'm trying to teach class, and you're over here like just doing your thing. And I mean, classic example of a child that does have something, right? We
Yeah.
just were constantly like high energy 24/7.
And there's
And
nothing wrong with that. There's
no,
nothing
I
wrong with
mean,
that. But I don't like the way that Netflix decided to kind of, with his personality, I don't think they should have brought him on the show. Or maybe they didn't think he was going to find love.
I don't know what Netflix thought by bringing him on or picking him as a contestant. Um, Maybe they just needed content, some he because you always have, everyone has a role, right? Producers pick everyone. Everyone has a role. The villain, you know, America's favorite, the all the roles, and he was just the entertainer one, the comedian, the one that's gonna, add some like laughter in this whole situation. Now, whether or not they thought, oh, we actually have someone that on paper matches, would match, be a perfect match for him, I mean, who knows? But the reality is, he did connect with Calabria, and I feel like in his case, um, the person we saw on the pods, we, I don't, I didn't experience outside with Edmund, because, you know,
Yeah.
I love them. They're the ones that are having like these deep conversations. Like, I
Yeah.
love the connection that they're building. The talks that they're having, the vulnerability. Like, it was just all the things.
I think that was the problem. Is KB was treating it like she was with a patient or a client instead of on a date. So yeah, they're getting to deep stuff on the first date because that's what she's used to doing.
Mhm.
And before we get too far along, you guys should already know. KB says, before we get too long far, Edmund says yes at the altar, and KB says no at the altar. And when KB says no, Edmund goes, ah! Sorry, ears. Sorry. Oh my God, if you have earphones on, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But he put out a scream, a scrump that was like, Edmund, what are you doing? You thought she
Yeah.
was going to say yes?
Even before, like when she took that slight pause right before her answer, he knew and was like, like he braced himself. And then when she said the words, I cannot be your wife, he let out this like yell of like someone, he just found out someone died,
Yeah.
broke down. And it was like, again, with Edmund, we get like extremes with him,
Yeah.
extreme and extreme sadness. Like he really goes from 0 to 100 with his emotions. And I mean, it didn't surprise me the way that he reacted, but the fact that KB still stood up there, gave him the affirmations and the reassurance of like, hey, you're still enough, like, you know what I mean, like tapping into like, don't allow this moment to define like your future and like how you feel about yourself. So I really love that about her,
Yeah. That was really
because
nice.
I think he needed, because I feel like he would have been, I think, more of a mess um leading after that. But I do commend her for really staying up there and trying to build him up
And
even.
because, yeah, because even when they walked away, Edmund tells his fifth grade teacher, um, like, that was my last chance. Like, I'm never gonna get anybody else. Like, that was my last chance. Like, that was like, and his fifth grade
This
teacher, yeah,
moment, and it's like, no, you're still so young.
he was like, if I can't find love here, then how would I find it? I'm like, boy, millions of people are about to watch this show. There's somebody out there that is gonna love how funky and his personality and like love everything about him.
Yeah, there's definitely someone out there for him. I think KB, their personalities were just way too different. Um, he definitely needs someone more his speed, more high energy, more life of the party, class clown type of thing. Because I feel like with anyone that's maybe more like introverted or just less like socially out there, see that being, at some point, because it's always, it's cute and it's fun and it's like, oh, how adorable in the beginning. But in the long run, for someone like KB, I feel like she would have been so tired of it and been like, okay, am I like with a child or am I with like a grown man? And I don't think he showed her enough seriousness for her to be able to be like, okay, we can, you know, I can I can continue with this.
100%. And last but not least, I gotta give it to KB's mom. She was really holding her face together the best that she could. Cause I feel like KB's mom and KB's friends were really like pulling it together, really standing there pretending like I may say yes, I may say no. And if you just looked at the friends and the mom, you could just see it in their face that they were like, girl, get the show over with. We are ready to go. We know you are not saying yes. Not once did I think the mom felt that KB might say yes. No, I didn't.
No, I think she was probably more honest with them
Yeah.
about where she was at. Um, I think Edmund still held on to that hope of like, well, like he made comments like I treated her so well, like I treated her well, and it's like, yeah, no one's taking that away from you. You treated her the best that you could. And this is why she decided to take it all the way up to the altar. But at the same time, it's, obviously a lot more than just how you treat someone. There's a lot of factors that I don't think got to see with them, just like financially and like maybe other talks that, they've brought up about lifestyle and like where they want to live and you know, his goals and dreams for his career and like where she wants to go in her career. So I think deep down inside, he felt, unfortunately, she's my last shot. And it's like, I hope he gets out of that mentality because it's not the last shot. I'm sure there's someone out there that um, was waiting to slide in his DMs and, be like, hey, I'm your, I'm your
Listen,
person.
Netflix, if you're watching, Edmund needs his own show about falling in love and finding love for Edmund, okay? It could be called Falling in Love with Edmund. I don't know,
You know,
okay? But
him, the next Bachelor.
okay, he needs his own love show. Netflix needs to just find somebody for him.
Yeah,
Clearly, Edmund trusts them, and people should be able to enter in a contest to go on a show to fall in love with Edmund. I'd watch.
I'd watch. Yeah, for sure. It'd be hilarious.
Now, last but not least, I knew something was off when Ali and Anton, or whatever, were 30% of the episode. And then KB, they were like another 10, 15 minutes or something. And then I was like, why is there only 10, 15, or whatever minutes left? Like, what is going on? Because we still have Jordan and Sparkle Megan.
Yeah,
And as soon as they cut to Sparkle Megan and Jordan sitting on a couch
the couch.
with 10 minutes left in an episode, I said, oh, what is going on? Sorry, my phone just got blown up. I said, what is going on here?
Yeah, I felt something was off too from the beginning. The fact that the bachelor and bachelorette parties were like 2 minutes long, like it was a quick flash. I was like, wait, normally we get a little bit more of the bachelor bachelorettes. Like, I don't, did something happen? Did it get cut short? Did they not have enough, like, you know, um,
Yeah.
anything to show? So I thought, okay, well, that's kind of weird. And then, yeah, Ali and Anton's was pretty long. KB and Edmund's, fairly the same. And the minute I saw Sparkle Meg in a lounge, in lounge clothing and that gray couch, I thought, we're breaking up.
And the thing is, the breakup happened so fast. I don't know if they edited or not. So, okay, you guys, Sparkle Megan and Jordan, they don't even make it to the altar. Sparkle Megan sits Jordan on the couch. And literally, once they sit on that couch, the breakup happened so fast, I had to rewind. Like, wait. I was like, wait. Did Megan just say, like, I can't, I don't even know the exact words. But she was just straight up like, I can't go forward with getting married. And I was just like, is she breaking up? Are we breaking up? We're not going to see a wedding with Sparkle Megan?
Oh, Meg wedding.
And Jordan's face was just hurt.
Hurt, disappointed. He really he really tried to not convince her, but he really tried to let her know, like, and remind her again why she fell in love with him. He's like, I told you in the pods that, you know, dating me with Luca was not going to be easy, that you would have to make sacrifices to be with me and Luca, like he made these small comments in the pods that she, again, I think she didn't realize. She really didn't realize like how hard and serious dating a single dad was gonna be.
Yeah.
And, granted, you can only like explain something so much to someone that has never experienced, what you're dealing with. And so there was no way to really emphasize how hard it was going to be to help raise this child with medical needs, and like, again, she got to kind of see a small snippet of like waking up in the middle of the night and his machines going off and making sure his blood pressure's good and making sure that nothing goes wrong in the middle of the day or in the middle of the night. And I really think that he truly just wanted some, like, an equal.
Yeah.
um he, again, if he was the type that was willing to accept all the amenities that came with her as the breadwinner, I feel like it could have worked out. But in a way, he wasn't accepting of the fact that she just made more, and everything, she would be financially supporting them
Yeah.
for
And
the.
you know what? I also think that Jordan didn't realize he had so many non-negotiables, or however you say it. Shout out to our subscriber Teresa. She commented and was saying in our last video how Jordan had all of these things that he told Sparkle Megan no to. And I thought it was such a good point because it Teresa in the comments said, it feels like he's being a joy killer. Like, we want to go out of town, let's get a babysitter. And he's like, no, I want to raise my kid. Or she's saying, let's do this or that. And he's like quick to say no about everything that she suggests. And I don't think that Jordan, like, after much thought, I just don't think he realized he had so many non negotiables. Like, he
Yeah,
looked at it as the person that comes into his relationship is going to have to make sacrifices to be with him. But I don't think that he realized that if you decide to marry somebody, that you too are going to have to make some sacrifices. And
yeah,
I don't think that he realized that. And like you said, if he would have been okay with her being the breadwinner and worked around that and made that smoother and saw it as more of a positive thing, because at the end he said, I think if I made more money, it would
hmm,
have all worked out. And that wasn't the case. It wasn't about him making more money. I don't think she needed him to make more money.
yeah. No, she really didn't, because she was so willing
Yeah.
to, like, be, financially support, like, all these things. Like, I think she realized, like, if I'm offering to get a nanny, to get all this, like, additional help, I know I'm going to fork the bill up for it. And she was okay, because she also didn't want to sacrifice the leisure lifestyle that she's created for herself. She's like, I, I don't want to continue to do things. And even though Jordan's like, feel free to, go on these trips and like live your life, you know, the way you have been. And she's like, well, no, that's not the point. She's like, I don't want to continue to do things by myself anymore. I want someone to do them with me. And I just think if, the roles were reversed and Megan was in his position and he was in her position financially, we would have seen a different outcome. She would have been so gung ho about, like, oh yeah, support me. Like, we'll get a nanny. Let's do this. Let's do that. But as a man, I think some men in today's society are still very much like, no, I have to be the breadwinner. I have to be the provider. Like, for him, I felt a little bit of insecurity
Yeah,
when to, a woman in Megan's position.
for sure.
Um, and it's unfortunate because I really do feel like they did try to make this work and they did build a fairly well connection. And she was so excited to, be a mom and enter this stepmom role, this bonus mom role. And she was, open minded, open hearted about learning to, care for this child. And, I felt bad for her because I'm sure it hurt just as much with him. It uh, was a bit of shots fired, I think, on his end when the producers asked him, is there anything you regret? And he said, yeah, introducing my son to her. And
That
I
was
was, yikes.
that was so heartbreaking when he said that. And then even on top of that, Sparkle Megan was like, I don't even know if I can be a good mom. Like they both left so defeated.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely both looked defeated and disappointed. And it truly was really heartbreaking to see their breakup because he was still, trying to remind her, like, well, this is why you fell in love with me, and she just came to the realization of, like, our lifestyles really just are different. And as silly as they may seem to him, like how he does live a very rigorous lifestyle where it's very much the same. It's on repeat. He does the same thing. He eats the same thing at the same time every single day. His routine is very much like very strict, and she's, you know, her lifestyle isn't restricted to like, so, and then she mentioned, you know, you eat the same thing every day. I'm more of an adventurous eater, and, you do this and I do this. And he's like, that those are little things that don't matter, but it was the bigger picture that I think
And
got.
even her friends were like, I'm just feeling like you're in this relationship for the kid in some
Yeah,
part. Like you're, so connected to the child, the child, the child. Like, what about you in your relationship? Like, we're worried about you building this family unit, but if it doesn't work out, then it's like, you know, there was so much at play.
yeah, there was.
And speaking of the child, if you made it this far in the video, we got to talk about the tea because TMZ has reported that Sparkle Megan has a whole baby out here. They
Whole child.
they caught her exiting, I think it was a restaurant near her home, and she was exiting and there was a gentleman holding a baby, a bald-headed man holding a baby, and there's speculation that that is Sparkle Megan's child.
Yeah, and I it wouldn't surprise me. Netflix did provide a little reunion teaser, and
I haven't
they,
seen a reunion teaser. There's a reunion teaser?
baby girl, there's a reunion teaser. So those that haven't seen the teaser, please go back. It's like a 2-minute teaser, and really just focus on Sparkle Meg, and they asked her basically, um, they asked her about the comment of that was made about her not being ready to be a mom, and she smirked and said, "Well, I actually have a surprise." And then it cuts, and that was it. And the next thing you know, I'm scrolling on, Instagram, TikTok, and I'm seeing these photos and rumors about her having, have been seen with this man holding a baby. And I said, Sparkle Meg really went and got herself a surrogate.
Yes, she did. She was not messing up that body or that job or that time.
And that man could very well be the nanny.
Or he could be the billionaire. I don't know. Because I don't know how she let the billionaire go.
You know what? We'll have to ask Sparkle Megan herself. How
Yeah.
do you
How did you let the billionaire go? Because
what did he
you know
do?
what?
Give me a million reasons why you would leave this.
Like, what is wrong with you?
What was wrong with him? Because you left $1 billion sitting.
So, yeah.
But I cannot wait for the reunion. There is going to be so much tea, so many things we need them to just
Clarify.
buy.
And last but not least, I have my guess or whatever. I definitely think this best friend that Jordan has been saying helped him wrote his book, the Luca book, has been his girlfriend this whole time. And he just
Mm.
kept saying, "Me and my best friend, we wrote this book." And nothing about the post looked like best friends. I think that's his girlfriend. That's my prediction. And I'm looking forward to hearing what everybody has to say at the reunion. And Patrick better show up. Oh, I gotta go look at the teaser. Patrick better show up. Casey better show up. Anna better show up.
Yeah,
Annie
Blake.
better show up.
Oh, okay. And you know what? Let's make sure we give Annie some water.
ASAP.
Okay. Oh man.
All right, you guys. Well, we will see you guys next week covering the reunion. And we hope you enjoyed the video. Till next week. Stop.